भानुष्युते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sashwin. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhu, I've not attended in a long time, so I don't know how I'd like to continue.
Congratulations, first of all, Mataji, on your new spiritual initiated name.
Thank
It
you,
looks
Prabhu.
very nice. Hari bol.
Hari bol, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much for your mercy, everyone's mercy. Thank you so much. Prabhu, now how should we go about it?
Actually, when Mataji told me, Kirtaka Mataji, that the speaker was not available and I was told to handle the class. I thought of sharing a video of one devotee. We can hear his lecture and then we can get realizations from his lecture. I think I've just heard a few.
I'll make you the host. I'll make you the host, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I think Shashwin can read the verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Yes, I think we can read the verse and we can read the translation and the purport also, and then we listen to the class. It would be better. We understand from both sides. I can read if you don't mind. Otherwise, it's okay.
Sure, Mataji, you can go ahead and read. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye. Nastapraisva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Slokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. So we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 38. Right? Yanaso Vishwara Vigrahasya Yaha Sannivesa Katito Mayate Sancharyate Asmin Vapuse Sthavisthe Manaha Swabudhyana Yato Asti Kinchet. Translation: I have thus explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world. Purport. So in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has verily explained that the material nature is only an order-carrying agent of His. She is one of the different potencies of the Lord, and she acts under His direction only. As a Supreme Transcendental Lord, He simply casts a glance over the material principle, and thus the agitation of matter begins, and the resultant actions are manifested one after another by 6 kinds of gradual differentiation. All material creation is moving in that way, and thus it appears and disappears in due course. Less intelligent person with a profound of knowledge cannot accommodate and the thought of this inconceivable potency of Lord Shri Krishna, by which he appears just like a human being. Bhagavad Gita 9.11. His appearance in the material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conception. By his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees, he comes down and manifests himself as a personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with atomic energy and the gigantic situation of the universal form, and they offer respect more seriously to the external phenomenal feature of material manifestations than to the nonal principle of spiritual existence. The transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the jurisdiction of such materialistic activities, and it is very difficult to conceive that the Lord can be simultaneously localized and all-pervasive, because the materialistic philosophers and scientists think of everything in terms of their own experience, because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virata Roop features of his transcendental form, and herein Srila Sukadeva Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. He concludes that there is nothing beyond this gigantic feature of the Lord. None of the materialistic, thoughtful man can go beyond this conception of the gigantic form. The mind of the materialistic man are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of the gigantic body, and by one's intelligence, only one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world. The forest, the hill, the ocean, the man, the animal, the demigod, the bird, the beast, or anything else. Each and every item of the material manifestation entails a part of the body of the gigantic form, and thus the flickering mind can fix in the Lord only and nothing else. This process of concentrating on the different bodily part of the Lord will gradually diminish the demoniac challenge of godlessness and bring about gradual development of devotional service to the Lord. Everything being a part and parcel of the complete whole, the neophyte student will gradually realize the hymns of his Upanishad, which state that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and thus he will learn the art of not committing any offense to the body of the Lord. This sense of God-mindedness will diminish one's pride in challenging the existence of God. Thus, one can learn to show respect to everything for all beings as part and parcels of the Supreme Body. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for this recitation of the verse and the translation and purport. So, allow me to start sharing the screen. This is Bhakti Keshav Bharati Goswami Dasa Maharaj. So His Holiness Keshav Bharati Maharaj. So we'll hear from him. Hare Krishna. I'll start playing.
Please, ready or not, here we come. Welcome to the daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books. Welcome back to the daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books, right here in Hythe, Kent, southeast England, just near the English Channel. And we are here after 2 days missing. I can't believe what happens. I've been feeling so much separation, I didn't know what to do. But now we're back in the saddle, and the feelings of separation have been dispelled already, and we're ready to continue this yajna, this Sankirtan yajna, beating in the big drum, as they say in Canterbury, beating the big drum, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, which are, by the way, he called his spoken kirtan. Srila Prabhupada's books are his spoken kirtan, and they are awakening people all over the world to Krishna consciousness and taking people deeper into their Krishna consciousness who are already devotees of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavata Mahima Stotram. by Srila Sanatana Goswami glorifies the Srimad Bhagavatam for what it is. It goes like this. Sarva Shastabdipi Yusha Sarva Vedaika Satpala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnaja Sarva Lokaika Drikprada. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, you are the only giver of sight to all the world. Srimad Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kali Dvando Ditaditya Sri Krishna Parivartita. O life air of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. Paramananda Pataya Prema Varshakshadayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Sri Krishnaya Namostume. I bow down to you, who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. Madeka Bando Matsangin Madguru Man Mahadana Manistada Magbhagya Mad Ananda Namostute. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you. Asadu saduta dayin atini chochata kada hanamun chagada chinmam premna rit kanta yokspuda. O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We dedicate this daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books to the Vaishnava devotees of Lord, ISKCON devotees, especially in Ukraine and in Russia, going through this very intense time in their lives. We've reached the second canto. We're still in the first chapter, the first step in God realization. And Shukadev Goswami is explaining the basics, the very basics of the beginning of meditating on Krishna. Text 38. I have thus explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:10, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has verily explained that the material nature is only an order-carrying agent of His. She is one of the different potencies of the Lord, and she acts under His direction only. As the Supreme Transcendental Lord, He simply casts a glance over the material principle, and thus the agitation of matter begins, and the resultant actions are manifested one after another by 6 kinds of gradual differentiations. All material creation is moving in that way, and thus it appears and disappears in due course. Less intelligent persons with a poor fund of knowledge cannot accommodate the thought of this inconceivable potency of the Lord Sri Krishna. by which he appears just like a human being. Bhagavad Gita 9:11. His appearance in the material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, but by his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees, he comes down and manifests himself as the personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with atomic energy and the gigantic situation of the universal form, and they offer respect more seriously to the external phenomenal feature of material manifestations than to the nominal principle of spiritual existence. The transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the jurisdiction of such materialistic activities, and it is very difficult to conceive that the Lord can be simultaneously localized and all-pervasive, because the materialistic philosophers and scientists think of everything in terms of their own experience. Because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virat feature of his transcendental form, and herein Srila Shukadev Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. He concludes that there is nothing beyond this gigantic feature of the Lord. None of the materialistic thoughtful men can go beyond this conception of the gigantic form. The minds of the materialistic men are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of his gigantic body, and by one's intelligence only one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world: the forest, the hill, the ocean, the man, the animal, the demigod, the bird, the beast, or anything else. Each and every item of the material manifestation entails a part of the body, of the gigantic form, and thus the flickering mind can be fixed on the Lord only and nothing else. This process of concentrating on the different bodily parts of the Lord will gradually diminish the demoniac challenge of godlessness and bring about gradual development of devotional service to the Lord. Everything being a part and parcel of the complete whole, the neophyte student will gradually realize the hymns of the Ishopanishad, which state that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and thus he will learn the art of not committing any offense to the body of the Lord. This sense of God-mindedness, wow, they're talking about mindfulness. This sense of God-mindedness will diminish one's pride in challenging the existence of God. Thus one can learn to show respect to everything, for all things are parts and parcels of the Supreme Body. Text 39. One should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Hare Krishna. I think this is just he's just reading the class and not explaining anything. I think this is just a reading class, so we can just share our realizations, Mataji, on this verse. Anybody?
Who alone distributes himself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, so we have been reading about the Virat Roop for quite a few lessons now. And we know here that the Lord he exhibited this Virat Roop just to give us kind of a view of how gigantic he is and how everything is within his body. That is also for those yogis who would not who were like impersonalists. They would not believe that the Lord has a form. So the Lord shows his Virat. Prabhuji, if I'm wrong, please correct me, okay? Because we haven't prepared anything. It's good that we share a little bit that we know, each of us, everyone, whatever we think of this first, and it will be good for the class. Right? So he's showing his Virat so that whenever the yogis would know that now they have to perfect themselves, but how to perfect themselves, they have to think of something. Our mind is always thinking. Our mind is like fickle, it's never stay like in neutral. No, it's always thinking of something. So the yogis, they needed something to think upon, because without being thinking about the Lord, maybe they would not be able to practice their sadhana, because it's a kind of sadhana, because yogis, they live in secluded places. They don't live with family members. They don't live in a house. They don't live comfortably. They live maybe in caves. And how they have to do lots of practice to sit in a position. They have to be sitting on an asan, which is not too low, not too high, which has kusha grass with a deer skin and then a silk cloth. And then they have to sit with their back erect and their neck and the back erect, not moving in the lotus position. Plus, they have to close their eyes halfway and then only focus on the tip of their nose. So in this way, anyone who does that for a few minutes will fall asleep, for sure. But these yogis, because they were trying to realize God. So then Krishna said, here's my Virat Roop, that you can think about it. Suppose they are thinking about the sun. So still they're thinking about the Lord's eyes, because the Lord says the two eyes are the sun and the moon. And in this way, give different parts of their body. Even in Canto 10, we read 10 or 12, I think, 12, I think. We read that the rivers of his veins, the trees of his hair on his body, on his head. So in anything we see in this material world, even in the purport Prabhupada is explaining, anything we see in the world, beautiful, we should think about the Lord. This is the beauty of the Lord. This is his creation. And if we think that the creation is so beautiful, how beautiful is the creator? So that is what he is Prabhupada explaining in his purport. And he's saying that anything, moving or non-moving, everything emanates from Krishna. If we understand this, then we will know how great Krishna is, how merciful he is, because he shows this Virat Roop. Doesn't matter where we are, what we think about, we know all belongs to Krishna. So Prabhuji, yes, this is what I understood. So somebody else can say something and you can say a little bit, and in this way we can conclude the class. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for your realizations. I was just going through this purport, and then what strikes true. I mean, what a striking feature of the purport is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. Less intelligent persons with poor fund of knowledge cannot accommodate the thought of this inconceivable potency of Lord Sri Krishna, by which appears just like a human being. His appearance in this material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, but his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees. He comes down and manifests himself as personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with atomic energy and gigantic situation of the universal form. So, when Lord Krishna comes and then plays just like a cowherd boy, and then he's just I mean, seemingly, very ordinary, but he performs uncommon pastimes from the childhood days. He's does so much uncommon pastimes, and we are all, in this Kartik Mass, we are discussing about Lord Damodara, and then we have so many wonderful stories of Yashoda Damodara. I mean, from the beginning of his birth, uh, Putana came to kill him, and he, just like a baby, he could understand the nature of the demon, and then he killed her, and then many other demons. It is interesting to note that Krishna did not use any weapons to kill any demons in his childhood pastimes. So he just used his hand, or he used his other parts, and then killed most of the demons. Of course, Kaliya was not killed, but he was taught a lesson, and then he was left. So since he had the footmarks of Lord Krishna, then Garuda will not touch him, and then Kaliya went away from the Yamuna. So Krishna and Balram uh, did so many pastimes, like Dhenukasura. Dhenukasura was he's a donkey demon, and then he was manning Kamsa's Talavan, and then Talavan had wonderful fruits, and then it was most nectarian, and it was guarded by this demon. And when Krishna, Balaram, and other uh, Gopas wanted to enter and then taste the fruit, I mean, they were all scared because of this demon. But being having Krishna with you, what is there to fear of? And then they ventured into the Talaban, and then they wanted to eat the fruits. And when they start eating, then he got the news of this. The Denuka got the news of this, and then he came. He came to attack them. Then Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna took these asses just like sticks, and then they whirled these demons in the big trees. Big trees. They went and fell down, and then they were killed. So likewise, there's a demon. I'm forgetting his name. He was spitting fire. He was. He was, sorry, a complete body of fire. So then finally, he wanted to burn all the forest, and he wanted to bring all these friends of Krishna and then cows of Krishna to inside of the forest, and then he thought that I will burn everything around Krishna, and then also Krishna will be killed. Thinking like that, he came, and then he sucked. Krishna sucked him into his body. It was, these are all there in Krishna book. So like that, such wonderful full pastimes are performed by Krishna, that we are mesmerized by how the pastimes, like Agasura. Agasura was a big snake wanting to kill Krishna, and then he had positioned himself like a gigantic mountain cave, and then cave was a little bit peculiar, and then little bit, all the kids are curious, and then so Krishna's friends were also curious to see, oh, this is a nice cave. Why don't we go and enjoy that cave? And some other Gopas said, no, 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 it looks like a demon. We might be it might be getting into trouble. Why to get into trouble? Because it looks like a terrible demon. And there were discussions were going on like this. But when they saw Krishna coming behind them, so they were fearless. So they thought that, okay, anything happens, Krishna is there to protect them. So then they entered into Agasura's mouth, and then Agasura had kept his tongue like a big red carpet, and then his mouth was just like a big cave opening, and he was wanting everybody, including Krishna, especially Krishna, to come inside, so that he thought that when Krishna comes inside, I will close my mouth, and then I will kill Krishna, because all these demons were sent by Kamsa. because Kamsa had this, Akashvani that, he'll be killed by eighth son of Devaki. So when Krishna saw this, and then Krishna entered, of course, he knew the demon, and then he knew his intentions. He went there inside, and then he killed Agasura by just piercing his body, and then he's just tearing open the body of the snake, and then he was killed. So there are so many pastimes, childhood pastimes, which are so wonderful that he's just as a baby, and then even as a kid, like 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, like Govardhana Leela is Krishna was 7-year-old and 7 year and 7 months old, and he Indra thought that, okay, this cannot be my master, he's just a coward boy acting very smart. So I will show my, they've stopped worshipping me, and I'll show my prowess, and then I will show how what will be the effect of not worshipping me. So he sent torrents of rain, and then he called all his people, and then called the most ferocious clouds, and then thunderstorms, and then he employed everything. But Krishna just lifted the Govardhana hill, and then he just kept it on his little finger on the left hand. So imagine, little finger, left hand is the weaker hand, and then left hand, and then the last finger. The last finger is the most weakest, in our body. So he showed that even the last finger is most powerful, and then he can hold the whole Govardhana hill for 7 days, and then till 7 days, Indra tried to pour torrents of rain, and then he thought that he will finish off he'll finish off the Vrindavan. But who can finish off Vrindavan when Krishna is there? So he can do anything for his devotees. So he lifted the Govardhana hill, and then he held it on his hand for little finger for 7 days, and then Indra realized that this is in fact my Lord Sri Krishna, and then I have done a blunder by doubting him and then wanting to test him. So he came and paid obeisances, and then uh, wanted forgiveness from Krishna. So in a way that Indra made all the devotees to come together, all the devotees and Krishna to come together and stay with Krishna, not moving anywhere else. Just the the Govardhana hill was the place where all of them stayed for the 7 days and 7 nights, because they couldn't go anywhere, because everywhere it was filled with water. It was like flood situation. They couldn't go anywhere. So all the Vrindavan Vasis, all the Vrajvasis came inside the hill, and then what Krishna was holding. So they could all stay there together. So it's like Indra made all the devotees and all the Vrajvasis to come together and then be with Krishna. But in contrast, Brahmaji, Brahma Vimohana Leela. So Brahmaji also got bewildered, and then when he saw this Krishna playing like a coward boy, and then he saw Krishna, eating from his friend's mouth, and then he was doing all sorts of things. He knew Krishna as, when he wanted to approach Krishna, he used to say, he has to say Purusha Sukta, Shri Sukta, and then he has to offer all kinds of Vedic mantras to invite him, and then all types of austerities he has to do. But here he is seeing Krishna exchanging food with which is eaten by his friends, and then he's taking from his friend's mouth, and then stealing from the mouth and eating. So Brahma got bewildered. This cannot be my Lord, because he cannot do this kind of things. This is also part of Leela. And then Brahma took all his friends and cows, and he said, I will hide them. He hid them in another loka, in the Brahma loka, and he wanted to see what Krishna will do. So what Krishna did, Krishna expanded himself as all his friends, all the cows, everything came back to place as it is. So in fact, what happened? The mothers, the owners of the cows started to love their children, their cows, even more than their own sons and their own cows, because it was Krishna himself personally expanding himself as the friends of Krishna, as Gopakumaras and cows. So they started their love started flowing. So when Brahmaji came, and then he wanted to see how Krishna is dealing with this crisis. So, but there was no crisis there. It was just same thing, and everybody was doing the same old thing, and then they were still enjoying the pastimes with Krishna. So then he realized his mistake, that Brahma, sorry, he had taken away the friends of Krishna, and then Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He realized, and then he came, and then he wanted to pay obeisances to him. Just because to show Brahmaji that you're also an insignificant part of my creation. So he invited all the Brahmas from different universes. There are multi-million universes in this material creation. We have learned from the Virat Rupa that each pore of Mahavishnu is bringing out universes. Each pore of Mahavishnu, just like we have pores on the body. So Lord Vishnu's body has pores, and then you imagine the gigantic body, emitting universes, and then each breath inhaling and exhaling. If he inhales, all the planetary systems are going inside. If he exhales, all the planetary systems are going out. So such creation is there, such a magnanimous creation is there. So Krishna wanted to show how insignificant even Brahmaji is. So he invited all the Brahmas from different universes. So everybody started coming there, and then landing on this planet, and then taking his darshan, and then paying obeisances and going back. So Brahmaji got bewildered. Whoa, I was thinking I was the only Brahma. So there was four-headed Brahma. There is eight-headed Brahma. There is 16-headed Brahma. There is 32-headed Brahma. So millions and millions of Brahmas were coming, and then going and taking darshan of Krishna and going. So this shows that the unlimited nature of the Supreme Lord. Even though he comes as an ordinary boy, and then he comes before us, and then gives us the pastimes of which looks ordinary, but it is not ordinary. It is extraordinary. Just like he wanted to give the example of how spiritual world is. The spiritual world is not something imaginary. Spiritual world is real, and then he wanted to show how everything, whatever is here, it is also there. The parental love is there, the motherly love is there, the friendship is there, the friendly love is there, the servitorship is there, the shantarasa, dasyarasa, sakyarasa, vatsalyarasa, madhurya rasa. So all types of rasas, what we are hankering here, what we want to enjoy, it is all there, and it's only perverted reflection what we are seeing here, and then we are just bewildered by the beauty of this material world. So the problem is, when we are bewildered by this beauty of this material world, we forget the spiritual world. So that's why spiritual masters and Prabhupada has come here and then shown us that this is a place of misery. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So this is a place of misery. Why? Just because everything is there. It is a reflection of the spiritual world, but it is temporary. It cannot be considered as permanent, because this body, this form, what we have, it is just temporary. It stays for some time. It has 6 changes. It comes into being. It grows. It produces byproducts, and then it dwindles and it vanishes into oblivion. It has nothing to. It will never happen again. So this type of creation, we are getting bewildered, and then we are just getting attracted to it, and then we are engrossing ourselves in these activities. So because of this association of devotees, because of transcendental literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the Sankirtana movement. So such a simple process is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, glorifying Lord Hari, and then reading Srimad Bhagavatam. These are all susukam. This is just susukam kartum avyayam. These are all, you know, the sukam is in Sanskrit is happiness. Susukam is extreme happiness. So just by hearing Krishna Katha, just by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, just by chanting, just simple process. It looks very simple process, but it is very effective, especially in this age of Kali. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama iva kevalam kalo nasteva gatiranyata. So in this age of Kali, nothing else will work. Nothing else will work. I was just seeing the video, a research done by somebody. I think I don't know if I forwarded that video. There's a research done by certain scientists that how the people when they used to travel 250 300 kilometers to Vithala Dama, Pandarapura. In India, there is Pandarapura. There is a Vithala temple. So Vithala is standing there on the bricks. There is another pastime to it. So one devotee made Krishna to stand on the bricks, say that you stand here, don't go anywhere. So to see this deity, people every year assemble in certain part of the year from long distances, 250 to 300 kilometers, they walk and then they come. And then how at that time they didn't have any means to go. They used to walk long distances, but they never used to get tired. Even the small child used to walk, even the elderly people used to walk for several days. So they did a research that by how they used to do is by chanting the name of Vithala. Chanting the name of Vithala, there are changes in the heart. There are changes in the functioning of the heart, and there is changing in the physiology of the heart, and then it is pumping more blood and giving you more energy. This is so wonderful. This is so amazing that chanting of the name of Lord Vithala, Vithala, there is a vibration in the chest area, and then that vibration causes to blood to flow, and then clear all your clogs, and then you can be healthy, and then you can take more physical exercise. It is also said in the video that recently people doing the garba, even small children, they were doing garba and then they fell down and then they had a cardiac arrest and then they died. So these kind of inconveniences can be avoided by just chanting the name of Hari, chanting the name of Krishna, chanting the name of Vithala. So wonderful. So I think we have to take all these examples, and then we have to take to this process very seriously. I think that's what my realization is, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else can share the realization? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nice realization. Hare Krishna. Yes, we see that what to talk about us, about normal people, even Indra and Lord Brahma, they could not know the Lord. They could not realize that this is the Supreme Lord. And as you said that in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, what he did, and Lord Krishna, when Indra showered the Tranavaka rain and wind and all, so Indra went and asked for forgiveness. Lord Krishna forgave because he took Surabhi cow and his elephant, and then he do Abhishek, and then he do Arti, and then he gave Krishna the name Govinda because you protected the cows and all, Govinda. But when Brahma went, Lord Krishna just turned his back and said, okay, that's it. Then Brahma got very, very kind of into a thought that has the Lord really forgiven me? Then he came down to this material world. He came to Mayapur, the Navdeep Dham. And then there he was meditating. He was then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in front of him. Then he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that, no, he said, I am very aggrieved for what I have done, and I don't know if the Lord has forgiven me. then Chaitanya Prabhu said, you'll have to come down to this material world as a Sudra. That's how Brahmaji became Haridas Thakur, born in a Mohammedan family. And then he purified himself by chanting the holy name like 24 hours. So this is how the Lord also reciprocates. Yes, you have committed something wrong, but you have to atone for it. And then Haridas Thakur, we know the first time how great he was when he was chanting, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself associated with him, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu held his body when he left this material world, how he left his body, how he danced, how he did all the rituals, and how he served prasadam to everyone, and it was very nice. But yes, we have to atone whatever we do. But this Virat Roop, really, before I could not understand, because as we know, this Canto 2 is a bit too much philosophical and difficult to understand. But now what we are reading and we are explaining, we are just kind of communicating with each other our thought and what we understand. Because reading any shastra, any books we read, different people will read through different angles according to our understanding. So if we share that we get more ideas, and we know more about whatever is in this great literature. So as today is a disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada, we should thank Srila Prabhupada for all the hard work he has done. Nobody has done this before, and I don't think that anybody will again do this great work, whatever he has done. Some people will just translate, maybe for their family, for their community, or for their country, but he did it for international, that everybody could understand in so many languages. Even though English is a international language, but he did it in different languages. That was his greatness, how much he suffered. Before leaving, I was just reading, somebody posted one of his god brother. He just posted on Facebook how the last minute, how he went there, how he saw Prabhupada, how Prabhupada pressed his last breath, and all these things, and then put you into this state of thinking how great a personality he was. He is actually, we don't say he was, he is, because he's still living in his books, right? So yes, thank you everyone. Thank you for listening today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any more realizations? Any more reflections?
Subhadra Mataji can say something, right?
Yeah, very
anything,
nice.
just to encourage you to speak.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the realizations, and it's like, wow, I'm just so very new in this still. If anything, in fact, I'm requesting all the devotees of the Lord assembled here to bless me, so that I can progress in this spiritual path. And Prabhu, that clip you sent, there's some very nice prayers that Maharaj said in the beginning. I don't know whether it's possible for you to share the link of that YouTube video.
Mataji, if you Google,
Yes. Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavata Mahima Stotram, Srimad Bhagavata Mahima Stotram.
Okay.
And you can write it from Krishna Lila.
From Krishna Lila. Okay.
Lila Stava, Krishna Lila Stava.
All right.
Yes. It's text 412 to 416.
416. Okay.
Yeah, 412 to 416, and it's by Sanatana Goswami. very
Okay.
nice. It's very nice.
Yeah.
This five like just like we glorify the Bhagavatam before starting. So this is
Yes.
there. Yeah, very nice one.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. It's very
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
And Mataji, you are already blessed to have such a beautiful name, to be in such good association. You will progress very fast. Keep coming, keep joining us, and you will progress fast. That is all our blessing with you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. I'm still very, very new. Arya Govinda Prabhu must be knowing I'm very new in that yet. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We are all, starting from somewhere, Mataji, and also every one of us is still learning in progressing.
Yes,
slowly.
Mataji, you know, we come together, we learn together, we grow together, we share whatever we know. So you should never be, okay, I don't know, I am new, I haven't, you voice whatever you feel like. And then if others, devotees have to correct you, they will correct. There's nothing wrong, you know. I get corrected all the time. I think Prabhuji also, we don't mind because we are not experts. Everybody's learning. So we come
Right.
together, we
Right.
learn together, we grow together. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for
Hare
encouraging the words. Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Hare-
Prabhuji, I think we should
Yes, yes.
conclude now.
We can
We should
conclude,
conclude.
Yes.
Yes.
can chant-
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Yes.
kripa sindhubhavaeva
Patitanan
patitanam pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
vaishnavyo namo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय,
Jai.
Jai.
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय,
Jai.
श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे
Jai.
कृष्ण, हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
everyone for association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.